Redmi has been Xiaomi's budget series for quite some time now. It is also one of the most popular smartphone series in the country. Now before we go ahead with the review, be sure to subscribe to the Gadgets 360 YouTube channel and don't forget to click that bell icon so that you're the first to know when we have a new video. Now Xiaomi has introduced one other smartphone in this series called the Redmi Note 7S. Now this is a bridge between the Note 7 and the Note 7 Pro. So should you get the Redmi Note 7S or some other smartphone? We review it to find out. The Redmi Note 7S looks similar to the Redmi Note 7 as well as the Redmi Note 7 Pro. The Note 7S also has a glass sandwich design with Corning Gorilla Glass 5 at the front and the back. This helps give the phone a premium look and feel, which isn't very common on smartphones at this price point. While the glossy back looks premium, it is a fingerprint magnet and picks up grease very easily. Xiaomi provides a case in the box that fits well and should help keep fingerprints off the device. From the front, the Redmi Note 7, Note 7S and the Note 7 Pro look identical, making it hard to distinguish between these three smartphones. The Note 7S too sports a big display with a tiny notch which Xiaomi calls as a dot notch. The frame is still made out of plastic and the button placement is identical. We found the power button easy to reach while the volume buttons are a tad higher in comparison. Both these buttons have good tactile feedback. The Redmi Note 7S houses the 3.5mm headphone jack on the top along with the IR blaster and the secondary microphone. At the bottom, it has a USB Type-C port along with two loudspeaker grills on either side, out of which the right grill houses the loudspeaker. On the left, the Redmi Note 7S has a SIM tray. It is a hybrid SIM slot, so you'll either be able to use two SIMs or one SIM along with a microSD card. A hybrid SIM slot is a little disappointing considering that a dedicated microSD card slot is the norm in some competitor devices. The bezels around the 6.3-inch display are noticeable, especially at the bottom and around the camera notch. It sports Full HD Plus resolution and has a maximum brightness of 450 nits, which is good enough when viewing the screen outdoors. The display has good viewing angles and good color reproduction. There are different display modes to choose from, and you can also adjust the color temperature to suit your liking. The Redmi Note 7S is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 660 SoC, which it shares with the Redmi Note 7. The Redmi Note 7S uses the same processor as the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M2, which is a direct competitor, and it is not as powerful as the Redmi Note 7 Pro, which has a slightly more powerful processor. Xiaomi offers the Redmi Note 7S in two variants. 3GB RAM with 32GB of storage priced at 10,999 rupees, while the higher 4GB RAM 64GB storage variant is priced at 12,999 rupees. The Redmi Note 7S commands a 1000 rupee premium over an equivalent variant of the Redmi Note 7, and we had the higher variant for review. Our Redmi Note 7S was running MIUI 10.3 on top of Android 9 Pie and had the latest May security patch. MIUI is heavily customized, but you'll feel at home if you are upgrading from another Xiaomi smartphone. Even if you are coming from a different UI, it shouldn't take a long time to adapt to this. Theme support is available on MIUI and helps customize the look and icon pack on the smartphone. The Redmi Note 7S has a substantial amount of bloatware apps pre-installed. Some of Xiaomi's own apps are also bundled in. We found the music and the Mi Video app to be a little spammy as it kept sending us some notifications through the day. The Redmi Note 7S is a capable smartphone and handles day-to-day tasks with ease. Scrolling through the menus and multitasking between multiple apps was a smooth experience as the Redmi Note 7S showed no signs of slowing down. We found the fingerprint scanner to be well positioned and we could reach it easily. We were also happy with how quick the fingerprint scanner was to scan and unlock the smartphone. Face Unlock is also available and works just as fast as the fingerprint scanner. It works well in bright environments but takes longer when unlocking the phone in the dark. There is support for wideband L1 DRM on the Redmi Note 7S, which means that you will be able to enjoy Netflix and Amazon Prime at full resolution. The speaker is loud enough and you will enjoy content on this device, but it is easy to muffle the speaker with its positioning and we wish that that was better. We played PUBG Mobile and the phone could run it at the medium settings easily. After playing the game for close to 20 minutes, we noticed that the area above the fingerprint scanner was warm to the touch, but it wasn't uncomfortable to hold. The Redmi Note 7S gets the same 4000 mAh battery like the Redmi Note 7 and manages to deliver similar battery life. In our HD video loop test, the Redmi Note 7S ran for 13 hours and 17 minutes, which is a good score. With our usage, which consisted of an active WhatsApp account, Instagram, and playing PUBG Mobile, the smartphone managed to go on for a day and a half. Charging is fairly quick with the supplied 10-watt charger, as it could take the phone to 35% in half an hour and 65% in an hour. It manages to top the phone up completely under 2 hours.
The Redmi Note 7S has support for Qualcomm's Quick Charge 4, but you'll have to buy a compatible charger separately.
Xiaomi has changed the cameras on the Redmi Note 7S, and you get a different camera setup compared to the Redmi Note 7. It has a 48 megapixel primary Samsung GM1 sensor with an f1.8 aperture and a 1.6 micron pixel size. The secondary sensor is a 5 megapixel depth sensor, which should come handy when clicking portraits. At the front, the Note 7S has a 13 megapixel sensor with an f2.0 aperture. The camera app is similar to what we've seen on other Xiaomi phones and has AI scene recognition along with quick toggles for HDR and color filter. There are different camera modes like Portrait, Panorama, Night, and Pro mode. In daylight, the Note 7S is quick to meter the scene and set the exposure. It also enables HDR automatically when shooting against the light. Photos had good color reproduction and objects at a distance were recognizable. Macros were decent, but the phone did not manage to get the color right when clicking flowers, as the AI had boosted the output. Portrait mode puts the secondary camera to use and gives a good bokeh shot, but you do not get a slider to adjust the level of blur. Edge detection is good, but the Note 7S tends to overexpose in a few shots. Low light performance was good, but the fine grain is visible in the output. Objects at a distance lack detail. There is a night mode as well, which makes the image brighter but also resulted in a grainy output. Selfies are good and have good detail. We found AI beautification to be useful as it wasn't too aggressive. The background in most of our selfies were overexposed even when clicking with HDR enabled. Video recording maxes out at 1080p for the primary camera, but you do have the option to record at 30fps and 60fps.
Electronic image stabilization is available, which managed to give a stabilized output, but it isn't very effective in low light, and we did notice a shimmer effect.
The Xiaomi Redmi Note 7S and the Note 7 are identical when it comes to the hardware, with the main difference being the rear camera module. If you don't really care about the camera performance, the Redmi Note 7 offers the same experience for a lower price. But you may want to hurry up, as Xiaomi is planning to phase out the Note 7 in favor of the Note 7S.
You might also want to consider the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M2 that's also very capable and is available at a lower price point compared to the Redmi Note 7S. But if you're looking at camera performance, you may want to consider the Xiaomi Mi A2 as well, which has a great set of cameras. If you don't mind spending a little extra, go in for the Redmi Note 7 Pro, which is well worth the 1000 rupee premium that it commands. And that was our review of the Redmi Note 7S. What do you think about the smartphone? Let us know in the comment section below. And as always, for all things tech, stay tuned to gadgets360.com.